This video on ironic fashion is sponsored by Squarespace.com.
My favorite part about fashion is that one day you feel like you're finally evolving and maturing, and you're like, oh, I finally got my own style, you know? And you're just like, oh, I care about color palettes and textures, and oh, I care about proportions and silhouettes now, and like, oh, grilled staff picks, and then bam, you got the Drake Ava t-shirt on. Or like, oh, I care about quality footwear now. Like, I care about the materials being used. I got different leathers that I like for different situations. And like, oh, I'm a greedy motherfucker now, you know? And like, oh, Margiela got supremacy for every day. And then bam, you got the burger baskets on. Like, what happened, bro? Why does this keep happening, bro? Personally, I love this about fashion because it makes it fun, it makes it dynamic, it makes it interesting, it makes you feel like you don't know what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, really, what is the difference between some solid, good, tongue-in-cheek bootlegs versus like corny, gaudy pieces that you see from like fast fashion labels? But see, that's the secret, Cap. There is no difference. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. No, but really today we'll be doing a deep dive on the weird, confusing world of ironic fashion. So ironic fashion, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's in the name. But we gotta talk about the Egyptian gods of this real quick, you know. First off, bam, the fuck you fucking fuck t-shirt. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, so I can't swear, but you can kind of make out what this probably says. You've probably seen it before. Fuck you, you fucking fuck. This is like how I kind of feel inside a lot, actually. The calm day down hat, classic. I'm actually trying to bring this back. So if you see me wearing this, I planted the seed just now so that you're okay with it later. The FBI, female body inspector, another timeless classic. But these, among others that I'm forgetting in the moment that I'm just gonna put on screen now, like a bunch of these, like the airbrushed, like the big white airbrushed t-shirt that looks like you're a hot girl wearing a bikini. I love that one. Actually, I want to bring those back too. But obviously, initially, these weren't meant to be ironic. Or like, not as ironic as they are now. Like, I'm sure there were frat boys walking around campus unironically wearing the Adidas marijuana leaf t-shirt. Just walking around having regressive thoughts organically, you know? But nowadays, we look at this stuff like it's a big inside joke. I mean, that's kind of the whole bit. It's just sartorial memes, bro. It's just like a big aesthetic, if you know, you know. But then it kind of has a lot of depth because there are times where I don't know if I know. I don't know if anyone knows. One of the greatest examples of this Ouroboros type bit is Crocs. Like 2-3 years ago, bro, it was not the same. Like, life was not the same. When people were wearing Crocs, it was like a meme. You know, it was like old people that wore Crocs because their feet hurt and it was comfortable. Like, ooh, sport mode. You know, I gotta put these bad boys in sport mode. Or like, oh, what are those? Those are my Crocs. You know, like, it was not the same. People looked at that shoe and were like, yeah, this is impossible, bro. It's impossible to style, at least for the meta at that time. And then you fast forward a couple confusing years, very confusing past 3 years. And now Crocs has a collab with like everybody under the sun. And you're seeing a lot of this stuff go for crazy prices unironically. And now for the bit, if there even is a bit anymore, I don't know where it is. I don't know where we're at right now. Like one day I'll see someone walking down the street on the Lower East Side wearing a pair of Balenciaga Crocs and I'm like, yep, that's definitely not a joke. You know, at least financially, that's not a joke. I mean, your bank account looked like a joke after buying those, but like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a serious piece now. And then the next day, I'll see someone rocking a pair of Lightning McQueen Crocs and I'm like, bam, I instantly just don't even know anything about life anymore. Like, seeing them back to back just kind of really messes me up and ruins my understanding of anything ever, of understanding people. Like, I don't know myself after this. And then now the Slayhay Crocs that look like my fingers after I contemplated in the shower for too long, they just look like pruned fingers. Those go for $500 on Grail now. You ever thought that you'd ever see the day where a pair of Crocs was going for more than a pair of Saint Laurent Wyatts? That's kind of a crazy This is kind of nuts. This should not be legal. There need to be some like regulations in place so that this never happens. And if this doesn't scare you to do something about climate change, then I don't know what will, bro. If someone asks me what caused the recession, I'm genuinely gonna blame this. An animal died, a sentient thing died for this. And you're telling me the disposable shoe cost more? That's not ironic. Like, it used to be just a bunch of dadcore / like tourist aesthetic with Crocs. Or just people that are just being goofy, you know, like just mad chilling in some Crocs. And now there's like, pick your fighter. It's like Kanye's disciples or like the Y2K girlies just kind of sport moding it through life, you know? Talk about a character development for the Crocs. I don't think we've ever seen a bigger cultural shift in perspective than what's going on with Crocs right now. Like, it was ironic, and then now it's not really ironic, but I feel like a lot of people still kind of think it's ironic. But then it's like there's a lot of style there genuinely, but it's still kind of funny because it's Crocs. But then it's not that funny because you're dropping half a stack on some cereal box toy shoes, you know? I genuinely don't know where we're at. Like, I feel like I'm just laughing along, but I don't get the joke. Okay, so back to what I was saying about all these pieces being gag gifts. Like, these are funny things that you would find in souvenir stores and stuff like that. But now with the extremely high demand of like vintage and the Y2K aesthetic, I feel like a lot of these old pieces are just going for ridiculous prices. Just based on like their nostalgic design and nature. I feel like this ugly font, weird phrase shirt is really in right now. And just the more obscure and random, the better. Also, kind of a weird observation that I hope is just ironic. But I feel like there's a lot of this post-American Pie, pre-Sigma grind set, misogynistic undertone with a lot of these shirts. I say ironic because I hope it is. But I don't know. I don't know. These came from a different time. That is not an excuse. We can't use that excuse anymore. He's from a different time. Catch up then. But stuff like this, dude, okay, this is kind of funny. Like, why are you married wearing this? But yeah, these things, like, do you see the theme? Do you see the theme? I don't remember us not liking girls so much. It's almost gay a little bit. How much we don't like girls. I honestly don't know how anyone can buy this type of stuff, though. Like, how can you wear this outside? Anyways, these are a couple of ones that I bought when I used to stream Grailed before bed. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of this type of fashion come from like the gutter of the early 2000s, just kind of resurrecting now. But what about the stuff that's being made now? I feel like a brand that really incorporates this type of design language into their stuff is like Vitamins. I've talked about them being my favorite brand just based on the graphics alone. And I feel like this ironic tongue-in-cheek approach is exactly why. But some other brands like Market and the boys over Good Shirts, I feel like they have some really good takes on vintage and contemporary concepts, you know? Like I feel like they both kind of nail what they're going for sometimes. Like, these are some of my favorites from the two. It's funny. I feel like we're all in on an inside joke. Is this ironic? Because I don't know. Like, that's kind of funny though. Urinal. Silly. Now we're gonna break into some obscurity, just like internet memes air fried as clothes. This is where it gets kind of gray. Like, I honestly don't know how much of the bit everyone is in on. And it gets even deeper because I don't think some of these brands even really know how deep the joke is. I don't know, or do they? So you can kind of take this however you want. Genuinely, I feel like at this point, you can kind of just walk into a Walmart and buy like a Minecraft shirt, and you'll probably get a couple people that are like, that's pretty hard. That's hard. Cookie Monster hat, Hot Wheels shades, Minecraft shirt, big ass cargo shorts, white high gold toe socks, right? Earl Dior B9S. Bam. Like, I don't even know if this is a joke outfit anymore. I genuinely, if I saw someone on the street wearing this, I would not know how to react. I would not know. I would look at it and be like, I can't tell if I'm not understanding something or if I'm thinking too hard. I feel like I gotta put in another 10,000 hours. But this is kind of just that weird magic that comes with the introduction of ironic fashion into the mainstream meta. Obscurity, I feel like, is a new metric that a lot of people are starting to toy with. And I'm happy because I'm so fucking tired of people playing around with the price knob. Like, stop. Like, the wheels have fallen off of that one. Like, just let it go. Move on to something new. Like, we gotta start using some of the other knobs on the fashion synth, you know? Like, the random knob. I feel like is a really good one, a very underrated one that people are gonna start to realize is pretty useful. I can't wait for people to find out about the reverb knob. That one's pretty cool. I feel like that one's still in development. I think it comes out next year. The brand Praying, I feel like is a really big one you've probably seen on the internet at this point. It's kind of the Y2K girly version of the Fear of God essentials, I think. It's also the contemporary opposition to this wave of misogyny core coming from the gutters of the Grailed Vintage tab, because it supports the girlies. We need more equality in fashion. I'm down for these positive messages. Like, yes, persevere. You are very important. But at the same time, you can't all be God's favorites. I'm sorry. If you're all God's favorites, then none of you are God's favorites. Because the definition of favorite, you're better than everyone. You can't all be better. But you know what? You could all be God's favorites, though. What if you're all his favorites? Because we're all kind of made in God's image, right? So, nah, but some of y'all are made in God's flop era. And there's no way that you're his favorite if you were made, like, God probably hates some of y'all. God's gotta hate some of you. God probably hates the people that he built to unironically wear Bass Pro Shop hats. You know what? God doesn't like you guys. God hates you guys. Another big brand right here. This stuff. Probably pushing the ironic fashion envelope the furthest. The most out of pocket. Like, some of this stuff, I can't even show on YouTube. Right, because it's this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the best place to make a website for absolutely anything. They got over hundreds of award-winning designer templates so that you can make a website look exactly how you want. And bam, I made this ironic website in like 20 minutes, bro. I feel like this is the contemporary competition to Praying. And if I ever decide to sell these, which I won't, Squarespace has integrated e-commerce tools on the website, so it's all in-house. I don't gotta code anything. I could just make a bag like that, but I won't. And if you want to try it out for yourself, you could go into Website Builder by going to squarespace.com/frugalaesthetic. And if you like what you made, you get 10% off your first order by going to squarespace.com/frugalaesthetic. So go try it out now. Go build a website. Go steal my idea. I don't want this. Go to squarespace.com/frugalaesthetic. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. Haunted Starbucks. Kind of a ridiculous name, but the name doesn't even hold a candle to how ridiculous some of the stuff they have out is. Here's some of my favorites. It's kind of taking the obscurity knob and just turning it so far up that I feel like the signal starts clipping and then you're left with stuff like this. But yes, of course, the classic, the burger baskets. I feel like this is the visual representation of what goes on in my mind at any given day. One of the things in this world that I wish I made, honestly. But the guy in the Minions denim beat me to it, so congratulations to him. And yeah, just taking obscurity and irony to the point of no return. I honestly don't even know how I'm going to style these, but I guess we'll know in time. So how does any of this stuff, from just the classic, like, funny humor shirts, all the way to, how does this stuff make it into the mainstream meta? You know, like, why is this genre of fashion becoming more and more popular every day? Well, Red Grimace. Thank you for watching. Follow me on everything.